3 in the morning. Your dog is fast asleep on the floor, and then it starts. Their legs move, tiny running motions. Their lips twitch. A muffled bark escapes through closed teeth. You sit up and watch, and you wonder, what are they dreaming about? It sounds like a simple question, but it leads into one of the most fascinating frontiers of neuroscience, dream science. And what researchers have found happening inside the sleeping dog brain will change how you look at the animal lying next to you right now. In 2014, a team led by Anna Keyes conducted the first full polysomnographic study on family dogs. They attached electrodes. They monitored brain waves, eye movement, muscle activity. What they found was striking. Dog sleep has the same architecture as human sleep, and REM stages, transitional phases between them. The resemblance is remarkable. Your dog sleeps 12 to 14 hours a day. More than half their entire life is spent unconscious. But their brain never takes a break. It's working through every single one of those hours. And what it does while your dog sleeps may be the most important work it does all day. Every 20 minutes or so, your dog drops into REM. Stanley Korn documented this in 2012. Dog REM cycles are far shorter than ours. And here's a detail that surprises most people. Small dogs dream more frequently than large dogs. A poodle might enter REM every 10 minutes. A Great Dane every 45. But each of the poodle's dreams is shorter. So what exactly is REM? Rapid eye movement. It's the sleep phase where your dog's eyes dart beneath closed lids. Their breathing turns irregular, and their brain lights up to near waking levels of activity. This is the phase where dreaming happens, and it happens far more often than most people realize. But here's where it gets extraordinary. In 2001, Matthew Wilson and Kenway Louie at MIT made a discovery that changed the field. They implanted tiny electrodes into the hippocampus of rats, the brain region responsible for spatial memory. They recorded the exact firing pattern as rats ran through a maze. Then they let the rats fall asleep. During REM, the same cells fired in the same sequence, the exact same pattern. The rats were running the maze again. In their sleep, the brain wasn't generating random noise during sleep. It was replaying the day, in order, at the same speed. A faithful rerun of lived experience, not fragments, not impressions. The actual event, firing through the same neural pathways that built it. Now, if a rat brain, with its relatively simple architecture, can do this, what about a dog? Dogs have a larger, more developed hippocampus, a more complex emotional system, more varied daily experiences. The answer, researchers say, is almost certainly yes. Your dog replays their day, every night. But the most dramatic evidence comes from an experiment conducted in 1965. French neuroscientist Michel Jouvet was studying sleep in cats when he made a discovery that would reshape our understanding of dreams. He found that during REM, a small structure in the brainstem called the pons sends a signal that locks down every voluntary muscle in the body, total paralysis. While the brain dreams, the body is frozen in place. Then Jouvet did something bold. He disabled the lock. He lesioned the pons in a group of cats and let them fall asleep. What happened next stunned the scientific community. The cats stood up, while still in REM, still fully asleep, and they began to hunt, stalking invisible prey, pouncing, swiping invisible prey, pouncing, swiping, acting out with their bodies, what their brains were dreaming. That image changes everything. Because now look at your dog. Those twitching legs, those tiny running motions, that muffled bark. Those are signals leaking through the lock. The pons is doing its job, freezing the body during dreams. But the system isn't perfect. Some movement commands from the dream slip through. What you're watching isn't random. It's a window into what your dog is dreaming. And here's something that surprised even the researchers. Those twitches aren't just leakage. They have a purpose. In 2020, Mark Bumberg and his team published findings showing that REM twitching serves a critical developmental function. Each twitch sends a feedback signal to the brain, helping calibrate the sensory motor system, mapping which signal controls which muscle, building the body's internal wiring diagram. This explains something every dog owner has noticed. Puppies twitch far more in their sleep than adult dogs. Korn documented this too. Their atonia system isn't fully developed yet, and their brains are doing more calibration work, building the neural connections between movement commands and muscle responses. When a puppy's legs kick in their sleep, their brain is literally constructing a map of their own body. Senior dogs also twitch more, but for the opposite reason. The muscle lock weakens with age. Atonia becomes less efficient. It's the same pattern seen in elderly humans, a condition called REM behavior disorder. The lock that keeps the body still during dreams starts to loosen, and more of the dream leaks through. But here's the part that will change how you look at your sleeping dog. In 2017, Keys and her team went further. They used EEG to measure dog brain activity during sleep after different kinds of waking experiences. Positive experiences. Positive experiences, praise, play, treats, produce one sleep pattern. Negative experiences, being startled, scolded, or stressed, produced a distinctly different pattern. Dog dreams aren't neutral. They carry emotional charge. Dogs don't just replay what happened. They replay how it felt. A day full of joy produces a different dream signature than a day full of anxiety. Your dog's dreams have color, emotional color, and that changes the meaning of everything you see them do in their sleep. In 2013, Lampros Pirogomvros and his team proposed a theory that pulls it all together. The reward activation theory of dreaming. The idea is this: dreams don't exist to entertain the sleeping brain, they exist to train it. Dreams simulate scenarios, threats to avoid, rewards to pursue, as a form of survival rehearsal. Every night, the brain runs drills. When your dog's legs start moving in their sleep, their brain may be practicing running, practicing chasing, practicing reacting to danger. It's not random firing. It's not meaningless noise. It's rehearsal. The same way a pilot trains in a flight simulator. Your dog's brain runs survival simulations every single night, and those simulations include social scenarios. Bunford and colleagues showed in 2018 that dogs process emotional valence from human voices. They distinguish kind tones from threatening ones. Sleep consolidation strengthens these social memories. Your dog's brain uses sleep to file away who was gentle today, who was harsh, who can be trusted. In 2020, Ivailo Ayachev and his team discovered something elegant. They measured sleep spindles, brief bursts of brain activity during NREM sleep, in dogs that had just learned new commands. Dogs that learned successfully showed significantly more spindle activity. Sleep is when your dog's brain saves its homework. Every trick, every boundary, every lesson, filed and strengthened while they sleep. So here's the question you've been waiting for. Does your dog dream about you? Deirdre Barrett, a clinical psychologist at Harvard and one of the world's leading dream researchers, has spent decades studying dream content. Her conclusion: animals most likely dream about the things that interest them most. For dogs, that center of interest is you. Combine that with what Nagasawa and colleagues found in 2015. The oxytocin loop, the bonding hormone that surges when your dog looks into your eyes. Every moment of connection with you creates a high-valence emotional memory. And according to Keyes' research, high-valence memories are exactly the kind the sleeping brain prioritizes for replay. You may be the most common content of your dog's dreams. That's not a definitive claim. Science can't yet read exactly what any animal sees in sleep. But the logic from memory consolidation, from emotional valence, from bonding chemistry, it all points in the same direction. When your dog dreams, the odds are good that you're in it. Now, should you wake a dreaming dog? In most cases, the answer is no. REM sleep is doing critical work: memory consolidation, emotional processing, sensory motor calibration. Every twitch, every eye movement, every muffled bark is part of a process your dog's brain needs to complete. Stickgold and Walker showed in 2013 that REM sleep performs a specific and vital function: emotional detoxification. During REM, the brain strips the emotional charge from difficult memories. The event stays, but the sting fades. If you interrupt that process, the emotional weight stays intact. Your dog wakes up still carrying yesterday's stress. When should you worry? Happy if your dog twitches violently enough to fall off the bed, if they bark loudly and continuously during sleep, if they seem genuinely difficult to wake. These could be signs of several things: REM behavior disorder, seizure activity, or other neurological conditions. Dawson and Irisadeh, if the pattern is new or escalating, your vet can help sort out what's happening. So, let's go back to 3 in the morning. Your dog, legs paddling softly on the floor. Now you know what's happening. That's not random twitching. That is a brain replaying the events of today, rehearsing the challenges of tomorrow, and processing the emotions of a life lived entirely alongside you. That soft tail wag in their sleep, it could be the moment their brain replays you walking through the door. The oxytocin surge, the joy of reunion, a high-valence memory, exactly the kind the sleeping brain files away and revisits, not just once, again and again. Next time you see your dog running in their sleep, don't wake them. Don't worry. Just sit for a moment and consider this. Inside that small, beautiful brain, behind those twitching eyelids, to those tiny running legs, you might just be the main character.